Here with men's tennis coach Jeff Halberg. Coach, extremely busy week for you guys last weekend. Talk a little bit about the matches you had last weekend. I know you finished 2-1. You got a win over Morningside, and then a big conference win over Concordia, and then the loss to Luther. So,
sure.
All in all, must have been a good weekend for you.
Yeah, we felt pretty good about it. We came a little slow out of the blocks against Morningside, but we finished well. And the guys actually took the end of match form into Luther. They played much better. Ironically, we didn't get any points off Luther, but we actually gave them, there were some excellent matches happening. The doubles was really just fantastic tennis on both sides. And so that was a lot of fun. And against a ranked team, so we felt pretty good about how we showed. And they took it into the following Sunday morning. They played Concordia, and Concordia had, they're a solid team. They really are right through the lineup. They've got some good, solid players. But we just didn't let them in. I mean, they were able to squeak out 1 point off us, but even that match, we literally had match points in the match we lost. So it was just a great overall team effort. It was really nice.
10-3 overall. About where you expected to be with 13 matches in? I know, we've talked about this before. You lost a lot of people last year from last year's team, but yet it seems like the younger people are kind of stepping into the spots that need to be filled and really playing very well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I don't know if I would have said at the start of the season I was going to be 10-3 for sure. I knew we had a chance, but we've had 3, 5, 4 victories. So and you never know with those. It's just nip and tuck. It could go either way. And yeah, some of the guys were a little bit of an unknown quantity when it comes to that, the really pressure tennis, because though I have quite a few sophomores in the lineup, a few of them got experience, but some other guys, they got a little bit of experience, but it was only as much as they could get when they had all those 4 big seniors ahead of them and things. But having said that, I think that, I've spoke about it before about how nicely those seniors did in kind of leading and preparing those guys. So, I think we came in really hitting the ground running. We didn't have a lot of remedial work to do. It was really just trying to build on what they already had, and then give them the experience they needed so they could be successful.
It really has been a lot of team effort this year. I know you've got a couple of guys who are doing very well, especially in singles. You look at the season Gavin Smith is having and the season Colin Kazarowski are having. Colin kind of did this last year, but really Gavin's kind of stepped into that. As a senior now, he's kind of stepped into that role of, I'm going to be one of the leaders, and is really enjoying a very solid senior season.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I think in some ways, the leadership thing helped him. Because he doesn't have to, because he has to kind of think of the team a little bit more. Not that he was always a team player, but being a captain, he's kind of got to think of those guys as well. In some ways, I think it's kind of taken a little of the pressure off him. He just feels like, it's my responsibility to play hard for these guys, but to be conscientious of what they need too. And I think he's really enjoyed this season, and he's certainly enjoying his tennis. And he's just a smarter player. He's in his 4th year now, and the kind of silly errors that he would own up to his freshman and sophomore year, he doesn't make those kind of errors so much anymore. It doesn't make the tennis necessarily easier in terms of he's still got to put in that hard work. But he's not as nervous or afraid of what he's facing. He knows what he's got to do, and I remember one of the matches we had early in the season. It was a super breaker. Came down to a 9-8 point, and he hit an ace. He just hit a bomb, and that takes a lot of guts to stick a huge serve on a big point to finish a match. And so that confidence, I think, is really, it comes in his game, but it's also really shown in his leadership too.
I think if you look at his, I don't want to just single Gavin out, but you look at the scores of the matches he's played, a lot of 3-setters, so that experience, that pressure, like you were talking about with that ace serve, you get better because of pressure like that, and you learn what needs to be done. And I think that's carried over to a lot of your athletes on your team, in that they've gotten some very good experience. The Luther match is a great example that, you may not have won the match, but you learn from that and carry it over into the Concordia match, which you come away with an 8-1 win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that that match with Luther really assisted our match the next morning, because the guys didn't come off the court going, "Wow, we just got beat 9-0." They were coming off going, "We played a lot better than this morning against Morningside. We played more to our capabilities, and we gave a good team some great matches." I mean, those guys didn't come off, going, "Oh, that was easy." They were like, "Oh man, that was," they gave us a heck of a match. So, and the guys just carried it in the next morning. They didn't let up at all, and so hopefully that carries forward to obviously into the rest of the season. Fingers crossed we stay injury free, but it's looking good so far. We're really pleased with the progress.
And you've got Hamline this week. It's kind of an off week, so to speak, for the guys. They've got one match compared to what you guys have been doing the last couple of weeks, but a big conference match against Hamline on Thursday. It seems like every year you guys are really nip and tuck with the Pipers. Talk a little bit about Thursday's match.
It'll be the same. Hamline, the ladies played the Hamline, obviously last Saturday, and it was an incredible war, and I expect the very same thing from their men. Their men will be desperate to beat us. We've got to have had a strong rivalry over the 16 years that I've been here. It's always a battle with Hamline, and nobody likes to come out on the losing end of those things. So, I guarantee you, we think of that derby match. It's just a battle from start to finish. I feel good about how we match up. But matchups that's all talk. In the end, you got to put it on the court, and so I feel good about how the outlook of the match. But it's going to be a battle going in. I'm glad afterwards. To be quite honest, I'm glad the guys are having a weekend off. They've been really burning it hard these last few weeks, and so we'll play hard on Thursday, and then I'm going to give them 3 full days off. I don't want them to even touch a racket, just let them rest. So.
Thursday's match up in the Twin Cities at the University of Minnesota Baseline Tennis Center against Hamline. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks.